Making that call was challenging because, like many males, I found it difficult to request assistance. But that's just my ego talking, and I know a haughty spirit precedes a fall. Particularly in marriage, pride can be harmful because it drives our spouses away because they need to feel strong and independent. He declines assistance from others. The notion of men never wanting to ask for directions is the clearest example of this. It appears that he would rather spend hours getting lost than own up to the fact that he can't find the way himself. He won't ask his wife or anybody else for assistance since he doesn't want to appear frail in front of them. Make sure you know people who are more informed or experienced than you are on a subject to avoid this. Next, seek their opinion and pay attention to it. He consistently believes he is right. This is the husband who never lets his wife choose the restaurant or the movie. He just buys whatever he likes the best when a purchase is required, even if it's the family car that his wife will be using the majority of the time. He doesn't consider the possibility that she might make a wiser judgment than he would or that her advice ought to matter. Do something kind for her every day to fix this. It might be something straightforward and chivalrous, or it might be something more challenging. Just make sure you intentionally think of her every day. He is reluctant or afraid to express regret. This is because expressing, "I'm sorry," would be embarrassing and would imply that he had failed in some way. It's simpler to hunt for justifications or to place the blame for his poor decisions on someone else rather than to apologize. If you act in this way, it is obvious that your husband is conceited. When he does apologize, it is always after his wife has already done so. Take some time at the end of each day to evaluate your performance to fix this. Think about how well you have loved your wife and where you have fallen short. After apologizing to her, make an effort to improve the following day. We all fall short in some way, but recognizing our shortcomings provides us the chance to improve. He is intolerant of criticism. Whether his wife compliments him or draws attention to one of his flaws, he assumes she has a negative opinion of him. He can relive this exchange in his head for days, questioning whether he truly is that horrible. To fix this, choose to see your wife's observations as invitations rather than accusations when she makes one that you find unpleasant. We all fall short in some way, but recognizing our shortcomings provides us the chance to improve. He ignores his own shortcomings while seeking out those of his wife. He thinks about them whether or not he speaks them aloud. When he becomes aware of his own failings, he exploits this as a defensive strategy since, as long as her flaws outweigh his, he is free from responsibility. To fix this, set aside some time each day to reflect on your shortcomings and to remind yourself of the reasons you fell in love with your wife in the first place. A person with pride will not admit to engaging in inappropriate activity. Nobody wants to admit that they said or did something wrong. Instead, you'll both adopt a defensive stance and favor blaming other people for your issues. In this situation, it's crucial to understand that it's okay to occasionally be wrong. Sit back occasionally and unwind knowing you didn't get it properly. Even your partner might lower his guard as a result of this behavior. Refuse to accept defeat. A self-centered person won't know when to give ground. They will continue to try to win the debate even when all the odds are against them. Additionally, a prideful individual won't enjoy losing. One of the key motives for a partner's persistent search for flaws in their marriage is pride. The basic explanation is that you or your partner will feel more perfect than the other party does, the more imperfect they are. Nothing will appear perfect, not because it isn't, but rather because he won't be able to acknowledge your efforts because of his pride. For someone who battles with pride, finding fault is merely the beginning of their problems. Such a person could likewise struggle to treat others with respect. Do you have trouble respecting your partner's choices? That is pride in action. Does your partner constantly criticize you? That is also pride. Both parties will find it difficult to esteem each other when there is pride in a relationship. Both sides will make decisions without consulting the other, speak disparagingly to them, and disregard their opinions. Both parties will find it difficult to accept each other's apology when there is pride present in the relationship. Even though it is obvious that what they said harmed you, they prefer to overcompensate in another area rather than apologize. Such people will buy you gifts, take you shopping, or be very kind to you after they have harmed you. Simply put, they would prefer avoid making amends when they are at fault. In this situation, it's best to resist their attempts at evasion, politely request an apology, and draw attention to the pattern in their behavior. In a relationship, pride can be extremely harmful. Because pride demands that we feel and appear better than others, this is the case. Because of this, your boyfriend might not mind making up stories to boost his ego. He will immediately feel inferior to you if he attempts to apologize or acknowledges that he was mistaken. In order to avoid being the wrong choice, he will therefore choose to let pride take control and lie. This is an extremely bad quality considering how cruel and harmful lying can be. Additionally, it might be challenging to stop once it becomes a habit. One or both partners may find it difficult to forgive when there is pride present in a relationship. That's because it's challenging for someone who is arrogant to recover after having their ego hurt. One of your comments or an action you took may have made them feel denigrated. Before the affected party can speak normally once more, days will pass. Additionally, they will generally hold off on re-establishing contact with their partner until they receive a sincere apology. Does your partner harbor ill will against you? Then, in the most endearing voice imaginable, it's occasionally best to point out that they are acting childishly. Sometimes you shouldn't apologize because doing so will only feed their ego. Additionally, perhaps give them a voice message or leave them a letter rather than having a one-on-one conversation with them. Does not appreciate the opinions of others. There will always be conflict in a relationship once pride is there. The arrogant spouse will always insist on their way, even when the other party offers an alternative proposal. When you merely disagree with what they say, they can decide on something else without consulting you. This is so that their sovereignty is not threatened by an opposing viewpoint. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to this channel for more videos.